Welcome to another episode of the Shut Up and Ride podcast, sponsored by the brilliant Charles Owen. We are back. We are Benji-less. He's had a bit of a disaster, but we're going to have to record another pod to get him to explain all. But Charles Owen have kept this man's head safe. We have the man of the moment. I've never had so many requests to get one man on a podcast to tell us what's happened. He is victorious. He has come back. The legend that is Super Simon Grieve. Fuck me, you're a hero. What? Although I have just heard your other half telling you you've got to do the hoovering. So back down to earth with a crash. You're back from Burghley.
Yay! I'm back from Burghley. I have had the most amazing time, like beyond all expectations, and really good fun, and hugely challenging, but like all huge mixture of emotions throughout the whole thing. So it's been wonderful, and and it's very exciting. It's very exciting. Anyway, how are you?
I'm all right. A bit tired. I'm like you today. I'm tired.
I'm so tired.
I'm so tired. I have just got back from Spruce Meadows, which we'll talk about later. No one is interested in hearing me talk about Spruce Meadows because I've had so many messages hearing about you and Burghley. And before I forget to say it, obviously I am the person who reads all the Instagram messages. So many people on our Instagram alone, so I'll have to give you the login, have sent supportive messages onto the Shut Up and Ride Instagram for you, very personal to you. So I'll have to give you the login. But I will try and screenshot them all and send them all on to Simon if he doesn't have time, and just make you a little like reel of everyone's message. So don't worry if you sent me a message on Instagram for Simon. I will make sure he gets them. But there has, let's talk about that first, Simon. The love, the support, it makes you happy to be a human, that is for the Simon. It's just been unreal, hasn't it? Like, well, I've had it on the Shut Up and Ride Instagram, but just the love, Simon, it's amazing.
I mean, it has been incredible. I've got a relatively large following on Instagram now, and which is fantastic. And I think I must have got probably about 500 messages of good luck and support. To start with, I'm going to reply to all of these. So I was kind of replying, and I just got to the point where I just can't, because it's like literally I don't get anything done if I reply to all these messages, and I feel bad with that, because I really want to thank people, and being supportive is just so fantastic, and I'm really grateful for it. But also when I was going around the course, like people were shouting my name, and they were all saying "Go Simon" and "Go Buster," and so it's not like they were cheering because they had read in the program what our names were. It was like they actually know us, and it was just amazing. It was quite a surreal kind of feeling, to be honest, and yeah, it was fantastic. And I think I've talked quite a lot about how I have struggled in the last few years with basically the direction in which I'm going in with my career, and also my nerves, and how I deal with those or don't deal with those, and how things have changed in like numerous times through the last few years about what I'm actually doing and what I'm aiming for or not aiming for, and all that kind of stuff. And I think people have related to that quite a lot, and especially related to the nerves thing, and also we were talking earlier about imposter syndrome and believing that you're not good enough. So I think a lot of people have kind of related to that, and they've kind of followed along, and it's been really cool. It's been really cool.
Yeah, and I think it's relatable on so many levels. I think I told you the other day, you put a post about like how you thought you didn't go, before you did Burghley, about going around 4-star at Hartbury and in our 40s doing it, and my friend Kate Tarrant being inspired by that, and she's a 4-star eventer, and she was like, yeah, come on, and now she's bought a horse and she's going to get back to 4-star, and so you're inspiring people who compete at your level. But it's also inspiring those people who feel like you riders are untouchable, because you are the best in the world. You don't go to Burghley if you're not one of the best eventers in the world. So you are on this kind of level that people think they can't be like. So to know that you have the same fears and worries and nerves and of someone who
Oh
might
yeah,
just
and
want to jump
totally.
across
And
bowls.
but I think I'm probably very similar to most riders that, I go to Burley and I'm like, oh well, I've made it to Burley, but it's probably a little bit fluky that I've managed this, and I'm not I'm not as good as all of them, and I don't know, but our brains are programmed into making us think like that, and and I think it's really important that we talk about that because and make people realize that actually they're not a complete idiot and they're probably actually are very talented because they're actually managing to do whatever it is that they're trying to do. Um, and like I've now produced 6 or 7 horses to 5-star level, and I still don't believe that I belong there. Although this week has been incredible. My mindset has just been completely different to normal. On Saturday morning, normally on cross country day, normally I don't sleep very well the night before. I have a sleepless night, and when I wake up, I don't know what you're like, but when I wake up in the middle of the night, all my problems seem to be 100 times worse than they actually are. And I wake up in the middle of the night stressing about the course, and then the next morning I wake up and I think I said to you before, I think I've said on here before that James doesn't particularly enjoy going to big events with me because he's like, well, you get really nervous in the morning and you don't really talk. And then if it doesn't go very well, then you're in a bad mood in the afternoon as well. So what's the point of me coming? Um, but this time I woke up and I was completely different. I was really excited about having
I
a
could
go.
tell in your messages. You were like, I'm so excited. The course was amazing.
And I
Yeah.
genuinely was. I really wanted to get out there and have a go and have a try and see what this horse was capable of doing. And I was really excited about it. Oh, of course, like half an hour before I went, the nerves properly kicked in, and I was like, yeah, I'm just really feeling it now.
Might change my knickers.
Tightening chest. But I mean, if I wasn't feeling like that, then I'd be a bit concerned. I think it's
Yeah.
important to
Yeah.
to
Yeah. Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that. It's our flight or fight kind of feeling, and it just sharpens up everything, sharpens up your reactions and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's an important thing. But it wasn't it wasn't crippling.
Okay, so let's go through it all because in every single interview, you have said how you've changed and you're not so tired. And there's a little bit of I call bullshit on that because you still do too much. I know compared to how much you were doing. Because let's put it into context, people. On the interviews, Simon is saying how, yeah, I've tried to lessen my workload. I'm trying to be less tired. On the Monday, before he went to Burley on the Tuesday, he was recording a podcast about fucking menopause with me. So you could have said no to that, Simon, but you didn't. So let's still like compared to a normal human, your workload is still huge. You've probably done maybe one or two less things. But I loved it when I was hearing all your interviews. Yeah, I'm really cutting back. I was like, you were recording a menopause podcast on Monday. For fuck's sake, Simon. I didn't realize you were going the next day. Anyway, but let's talk about first of all the whole scenario. Everyone wants everything, but it's not just you that's prepping and has to stay away for a week. I just want to start before I forget. Amanda, who comes with you, she has a child. Like, it's not just you prepping; it's the whole yard. Mags, what do you do with the horses? How does that run where you're not there, swanning it off, getting famous? Do you know
So
what I mean?
so basically, so how we work it at my place is there's a Maggie and Amanda that work for me, and Amanda, I don't know how she does it because she has got a little boy.
You do
Uh,
realize they don't work for you. You work for Amanda, right? That's how life
yeah,
works.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much how it works. But she's got a son, and he's 2, I think. I think he's 2 now,
God,
and
that's gone quick.
so she and I generally don't know how she does that. Because she stays at home when when I have a stay away, and Maggie comes with me to the shows when it's a stay away. So this week, Maggie came to Burley with me and Buster, and then Mad stayed at home, and she did the yard at home, and she works the horses or works in conjunction with Flora, who is amazing, and she comes in and rides, and they kind of get it done between them. And then actually, because Burley's not that far away from the yard, Amanda really likes to come and watch at Burley. So she came for the dressage and then went home and did the yard, and then she came for cross country day, and the same for the show jumping. So that's how it kind of works basically. Maggie loves coming to a stay away, and she's very popular in the stables, and she's kind of knee high. She's tiny, and
She's tiny. She's a
she's
tiny
tiny,
human.
and she is 63, I think now. So so she's mature. But she still loves to like chat to the young ones and order me around, and yeah, so it's great. It's great having it there.
And so hats off to Amanda, who is doing all of this whilst running around with a 2-year-old, because
And
yeah,
I don't know how she does it. I mean, I think Rob, her husband, does an amazing job, and both sets of parents do an amazing job as well.
yeah,
Like
like
when she has a day off, Maggie always looks after little one. So
amazing.
it's called Stanley.
So
It's a cool name.
Stanley is a great name. It's a very cool name. So you, at what point do you feel the butterflies, the stomach? Is it loading up, driving in? Like you coming off the truck, there's a reel of you coming off the truck on Instagram. If anyone hasn't seen it, you must see it, in your amazing clothes from Supercross Country, and you're walking off. And I'm not joking, Simon, you look like a competition winner who'd won a competition to be there. Your face, you're like ah! You're like
Yeah,
smiling, the biggest
yeah.
smile ever. Like, was it that point where it was like I'm here? Like, it was just brilliant to see your
I
face.
mean, I mean, you must get it when you go there. The place has got just such an amazing vibe and such an amazing feel to it. You can't help but smile when you go in, and
I think I get it
just
more with badminton though.
it's just so, but it's just I just think it's so fabulous. Like both of them, they're both fabulous
Yeah.
venues. They're both amazing places to go and compete. And I don't know about butterflies coming, but certainly I felt I was really happy to be there, and like to be able to qualify to compete at an event like that is, I mean, it's epic, and
Yeah, yeah.
and it doesn't happen very often, and
Oh yeah, you can't just turn up. I mean, the qualification on its own is
it's so complex
so
and
hard.
tough, and you have to do something. You have to. I said in one of my interviews yesterday, like you literally, if you want to be successful in this sport, if you want to do it, then you have to throw everything into it, like your everything, in order to do it, to the detriment of everything else in your life. You know, my partner gets neglected, my family get neglected, my friends get neglected. Like, you know, you can't go to family functions, you can't go to weddings, you can't go to funerals. You like it's so all consuming, and so when you do get to compete at the top events, and you know, it's you have to enjoy it, and that's what I really wanted to do this week.
So you get off the lorry. What
Yeah.
people want to know, the behind the scenes shit, like what goes on, what
Okay.
actually goes on. Yeah, take us
So
through it. Take us through a day in the life of a Burley Simey.
Okay, so on the Tuesday is the day when we moved in, and I actually because I'd seen the course preview, so I set up two different exercises in the school at home on the Tuesday morning. So I did an oxer curve to a left-handed corner, oxer right-hand curve to a left-handed corner, and then a separate one which was an oxer left-handed curve to a right-handed corner. And I set it up on kind of like the lines that I thought that it looked like it was on the course preview. And Buster was absolutely amazing through those. Like he was proper on it, like really sharp and like fantastic. So that gave me lots of confidence. So that was really good. And a couple of days before, I went to Piggy Marches and I practiced jumping a step out of water, bounce over a shoulder brush, because I've got a little portable, thanks to Caroline Moore, because she's a legend. I've got a portable uh, shoulder brush. So I took that to Piggy's, set it up, and practiced a step bounce over a shoulder brush out of water, because there was one of those at Burley. And I wanted to like do a mini version just so that he had a vague idea of what it was I was going to be asking, because it was a bit something that you wouldn't normally see. So I practiced it on Tuesday morning. I did the corners, and then he had a bath and got all ready. And you
Did
have
you
to
have a
do,
bath as well, Simey? The hair looked
yeah,
good
of
the whole
course,
time.
of
Yeah.
course. I'm so clean. Uh, and then we have to have the temperatures have to be done for FEI competition in the run up and a few days running up to
So this
the
is all the shit that
competition.
you don't realise you have to do. Like, it's nuts.
Yeah, and they have to have an FEI passport that has to be in date. Obviously, their vaccinations have to be done 6 monthly. And then, so then he had a bath, had all his stuff packed into the lorry, and then we drove there. It takes us just over an hour to get there in the lorry. And then
Nice.
drive in through security, and you have to park up by the stables, drop the ramp, get the horse off, and as soon as the horse comes off the lorry, they go straight to the vet, and they get identified. They have their chip scanned, and they get their vaccinations checked, and they have a proper. They get inspected by the vet just to make sure that they are who you say they are, and you have to take the horse's temperature in front of the vet as well. So that so they believe you about what the temperature is, and just make sure the horses are in good health before you can move them into the stables. So then we put him into his stable, let me eat some grass, and we moved the lorry to where we were parked up, which is down the bottom field, and we were in a really good spot because we were really near the loos. And
so all these
then
things are important, because if I had to go
Very.
around a 5-star, I'd be shitting myself a lot. So I'd need to be near the loos.
Yeah, the only thing with it was it was the other side of a fence, which had a big bit of barbed wire that went across the top of it. So I was being very careful every time I climbed it. But yeah, we were in a good we were in a good spot, and Buster's really good. Like you can kind of take him anywhere, and he settles wherever. So he settled in really nicely and really easily. And then we kind
Who
of
are
set
your
up camp.
neighbours?
Alice Casburn,
Ah, she seems
who
very
rides.
nice.
Yeah, she's really nice. And she was riding topspin. And then my friend Ali then arrived, who came to support for the trot up and the dressage days. And she had a car, and then she drove me into Stamford, and we went shopping and got a load of food and snacks and things. But at Burghley, you're really lucky. Well, we're really lucky because the riders and the grooms both get given like a little card that you can scan at the canteen, so you get breakfast, lunch, and supper.
Oh,
Yeah, which
nice.
is really, and it's really good food too. It's really good
Was it?
food.
Is it
Um,
healthy? Like, what is an event rider's diet? Like, do you worry about what you're eating that week?
I dieted a lot in the last 6 weeks. I've lost quite a lot of weight. Not that thought I was fat, but I just wanted to be lean and
Yeah, Buster's not the
make.
biggest pony, is he? How big is
He's
he?
not, no, and I just wanted to make his life as easy as I possibly could.
Yeah.
So just being a bit lighter is always going to help him. So yeah, so I was on a bit of a diet, but then I thought when I got there, I thought right now you can start, really like getting calories on, getting the energy in, so that you're in tip top condition, ready to fire on all cylinders and do a good job of the riding. So yeah,
Because
uh,
I think as well, like, you are athletes. Like, so if you're a runner or a rugby player or whatever it is, like, nutrition is such a like the amount of protein to carbs they eat and everything. But you are an athlete, but not many riders would worry about how much chicken they're eating or the percentage of protein to fiber. Do you know what I mean? Like, it is a
yeah.
very different sport, ours. But
Mm.
I think it has changed. I think riders do worry more and more about what they're eating now.
Oh God, definitely. Yeah, definitely. But you've got to be careful. You've got to have enough. That you've got to have enough energy. You've got to have enough
Mm.
calories going in, that you can have enough energy, and that you've got the strength as well. Because like what we do is, you're not just sitting there, even though people think that you are. Like you have to have real strength in your core to be secure. You have to be really strong in your lower leg muscles in order to like be secure and keep yourself in the saddle. So yeah, diet's a really important element of it. But I mean, for me personally, it's about eating healthily during the day and having a really good, wholesome meal in the evening, which James is extremely good at doing. So I'm quite lucky like that.
Okay, so trot up. How nerve-wracking is the first trot up, and how did you choose your outfit?
Well, first of all, you have the riders briefing, and that is in Burghley House, which is amazing. Like you go up there, and all the riders are there, and it's in this beautiful hall and beautiful room. And then we went out onto the lawn in front of the big house, and we had our photo taken, all the riders. So it's the school of 2025, and it kind of just makes it all feel a bit more real and a bit more exciting, and everyone's in it together. And yeah, so that was really cool.
Do
And
you get to
then
decide where you are in the photo? Like, do you go for the middle, or are you like William Fox Pitt would always be at the back because he's so tall? Obviously,
yeah,
I know he wasn't riding, but like, do they tell you where to stand, or do you like
they
sneak
they
in
they were
next to your
telling us where
mate?
to stand. Yeah, I mean
Oh, but you're like, I
they
want to
were
stand
really.
next to Roz.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Well, Ros had a little platform that they were going to put her on because she's so diddy. Because she won last year, they wanted to have the winner of last year in the middle. But yeah, no, it was really good. And then so that was in the morning at 10:30, and then the trot up was at 4:00. But they had to push that forward because it was absolutely chucking it down with rain. So they waited for the rain to kind of clear. So we were a little bit later. But I wore an outfit for the event collection. It's a velvet blue jacket with a big
I
emblem on the back.
saw. It's
It's
very
really
smart.
smart. It's really smart. You know, it's a lovely jacket and really comfortable too. And I got lots of
So
really nice comments for it.
this is a little behind the scenes insight into the media press tent. So whenever I've done the media office, the photographers always come back in, and we always have a running joke because some of the female, normally younger riders, have often done like 5-star trot ups in wear like hot pants or shorts, like very short skirts, or like something quite eye catching, shall we say? And
Yeah,
there's always the joke of the photographers coming in smiling, and then you can see them like chortling away as they look at these photos. And it is said that some of them may do it to distract away from the horses, which obviously is not true. But
obviously not true.
obviously not true. But yes, it's whenever anyone wears something slightly alluring, there is always a run to look at the photos around the cameras in the press office. And someone was saying, "Yeah, that one passed. It worked," but no, the judges weren't watching the horse. So yes, the outfits are noticed, but I feel like it's. I remember going to badminton and the trot up, and not that many, or Burghley, and more people watch it now than ever. I think that's a social media thing.
Oh
Of
God,
brought.
yeah! It's really popular. Like the Wednesday afternoon trot up, it's rammed. There are so many people in the grandstand, which is great. Like it's lovely that they want to see all the horses, and I know that at badminton this year there was a lot of photos taken and put online, complaining about the horses' lack of top line and lack of muscling and lack of condition. But as far as I'm aware, none of that happened at Burghley this time. I mean, I didn't think so much at this event, but I have been to 3 days before where horses are really thin, um, and thin doesn't necessarily mean fit.
Yeah,
Um, and I suppose in lots of ways, you might want them on the leaner side than fat, but um, but they've got to be healthy. They have got to be
yeah,
healthy.
yeah, yeah. But could it
Um,
be argued that it can be like a person? Like some people are naturally leaner and skinnier
yes,
than
yeah,
others.
that's
So
true.
it might just be that horse's way of looking. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like from looking at it from both perspectives. But I totally agree with you. But it's it's so hard to police because everyone muscles differently, and I'm guessing every horse will as well. So it is so hard to be like what is healthy and happy and what isn't.
Mm.
Um, but yeah,
But there was talk about atrophy in the horses' necks, and so like loss of muscle and
yeah,
that kind of thing, down to like poor training. Um, but there are lots of arguments that that's not actually the case. And also poorly fitting saddles, which could be something. Could be a thing. Because there are quite a lot of saddle companies that actually don't do the best job. So. Um,
yeah.
yeah, I know it's just quite it's an important topic, and it's definitely not one that wants to be swept under the carpet. It's something that that needs to be addressed. I think when
Yeah,
and
they
we need to
need to
be really
find,
transparent about stuff.
but maybe with these horses that are so in the public eye, like any horse, if they're going to lead by example, there's maybe a tracking system. How did this horse look at this time to how it looked 6 months later? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
so you can track their progress, and maybe riders should be making more of technology and photography and photographing horses on their journey and how they've muscles are developing, and but like a system where you can take a photo of it 1 month, and then when you
Yeah,
think it's fit, and put it over the top and see what the muscles should look like and shouldn't look like. I don't know.
but there's also like people put photographs up of horses um and they go, oh my goodness, this horse's conditions are really terrible. But actually, if you then look at a slightly different angle, it doesn't look anything like as bad.
Well, it's
So
like
like
me. It's all about the angles when you're getting your photo taken. My ass can look very wide. It's not actually, no, it is pretty wide.
it's not, but it's not. It's a lovely hiney.
Thank you. I like big butts and I cannot lie. Anyway, so Trot Up, was Buster good? Because I did not get to watch the Trot Up.
He was beautiful, actually. He was
Hey,
really
good
good.
boy.
He
So
really
you didn't have to
behaved.
wear your hot pants.
No, I didn't. And uh,
You do look good in
Amy
hot
Penny,
pants.
Amy Penny was Amy Penny was not long before us, and hers was pretty wild. And then Piggy was 2 before us, and she actually let hers go because it stood up and turned round, and it ended up cantering back into the collecting ring without anyone holding him.
Oh no.
Yeah, so which wasn't ideal, but
No,
anyway.
it's not what you
But
want day one.
he trotted beautifully, and the grand jury were very nice, and I got some really nice photos and a really really cool reel that Pete from Granite Lens Media did, which was great. But we were also told at the briefing that we were only allowed to do 30 seconds of footage for any reels or anything like that per day for from the field of play. So
How come?
they were really wanting to promote Burghley TV.
So people aren't just watching it on
Yeah.
there.
So they didn't want us to be filming our whole rounds or whole show dressage tests and posting those so that people don't watch on Burghley TV, basically.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Because you have to pay for Burley TV. So,
Mm. Well,
whereas,
and I want to do a YouTube video about it, but they're only going to allow me to post 2 minutes of footage of the actual competition.
but is that going to be your own footage, or are you allowed to take footage from Burley
Not
TV?
you can't do either.
Yeah,
Like it's anything on the field of play.
but it's hard, isn't it?
And they also don't want you to copy Burley TV and then put that on your socials either. They want people to basically pay the subscription, which I understand. But
Oh
at the
yeah.
same time, it's just a bit disappointing because I'd really like to show the whole shebang, but no.
I know,
And
and
it
I
was
work in the media, and I know how expensive it is to put on the media side of it, the cameras and the kit and the everything. And back in the day, the big companies like used to pay the event to
mm,
show it. Now the events have to pay for it. It's changed so much. So I do appreciate it, but it is hard when you're trying to promote the sport that you can't promote yourself.
mm.
It's a real minefield. It's a real fucking minefield.
Oh God, isn't it?
So then you have to get your head into.
We did a bit of work, ran through a couple of movements with Richard Davison. He was there helping me, and then we went in. And as soon as we went in, he spooked at one of the cameras straight away, and then there were 3 microphones within the whiteboards.
Did you
Going
not
down
do
the side.
arena familiarization with the
Yeah,
cameras?
we did, and he didn't particularly like the camera for that either. And also they were doing a lot of work as well. The tech guys were doing loads of stuff with like wires and moving stuff, which actually kind of it didn't upset him, but I just wonder whether it might have made him think, oh, what's going on in here?
Mm.
Um, but he spooked as soon as I came into the arena and we were trotting around the outside. He did spook, and then as I cantered in, he spooked at the bit of grass. So like they mow a centre line, and then on each marker they mow a strip in. So like you're going across going up the centre line, but over like a T, 3 T's, and he jumped the first T. So yeah,
He's
so
like,
he
is this
wasn't.
not what we're meant to do, Daddy?
Yeah, he was like, I'm a little bit confused. But and then your first movement was turn right, and then a medium trot across the diagonal, and he spooked in the corner at one of the microphones. So it was fine. Like he didn't do anything really naughty. Like he wasn't trying to be difficult. But so he did a couple of spooks, but like, he actually did some really lovely work. He did 3 really nice flying changes, although one was a little bit early, and then the 4th one was a little bit muddled. But there is so much potential in that horse on the flat. He moved beautifully, and he's come on so much, like in leaps and bounds, especially in the last month or two. Because I said to Richard, I said, well, the plan is, I think, to take him to Burghley. So, like, can we, nail it? And Richard's been a great help. And actually, Carl Hester commentated on my test, and he was very sweet. So, yes, it was great, and it's just so wonderful to be there. It's such an honor and a privilege to ride in that arena, and they do it so beautifully, and the ground's fabulous, and it was a real honor to be able to do a dressage test in that arena.
And then you come out and you have to do press and media and all of that shebang. So then how hard is it to balance? Obviously, you are now a celebrity because you're so popular and you're an influencer. How hard is it to balance duties of it's a time to catch up with sponsors and do signings and meet people, to getting your head in the game, walking courses. And I saw you did a lot with Roz. You have to do a certain amount of interviews. Like, what is that like to balance? And because you enjoy that stuff, but it is important that you don't get carried away and be drawn into saying yes to everything, and keep your mind on the fact that you are about to do something incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, before I did not the last time. I think it was the last time I did Burghley. I did 2 course walks on the same day because we had so many people wanting to come on a course walk, so I did 2. And I kind of did I did everything. Like, if I got asked out for dinner by owners, I would go. If a friend asked me to go to the bar, I would go. But this time I made a bit of a pact with myself that I was going to make sure that I didn't make myself knackered, because I have slightly changed my schedule. I am trying to do a bit less, so I'm not as exhausted. But there's no point in doing that if you're then going to be silly and overdo it when you're at the actual event. So I actually kind of backed off a bit and I didn't do loads.
What was first impressions of the course? Because you messaged me going, I love it, it looks amazing. Was that you trying to be positive mindset going, or is that
No,
exactly what you thought?
no, I did. Like, when you go to Burghley, like, the course is going to be massive. It's going to be really difficult.
Yes.
It's going to be really technical. It's going to be really scary.
It's not like you're walking
Because,
around going, oh, shocker, these are really big.
yeah, exactly. Like, you kind of want them to be like that. So I certainly wasn't going to be complaining, and I wanted it to be a challenge. That's the whole point of doing 5-star. You want it to challenge you, and you want it to challenge your horse, but just in a horse friendly way. And I thought that the course did do that. I thought that the main places where you could make a mistake were really annoying, silly ones, like having runouts at skinnies or runouts at corners. And there were a few of these oxes curved to corners. So yeah, so it was. I was very positive when I first walked it. No, I was, and straight away was keen to have a go.
So let's get to cross country, because that's the bit that everyone wants to know about. How do I say this without sounding rude? I have watched you ride cross country a lot of times. I obviously not seen you do a 5-star since Poe. I don't think I've ever seen you look so sturdily determined, strong. You are always on it, and you're a fucking brilliant rider. And I've always said that. And I always think you're very reactive. You're an amazing horseman. You ride with empathy and feel. But I don't think I've ever seen you look so determined. Like, there was a look in your eye that was slightly different. I don't know if you felt different going round or something. There was something slightly different about you, Simon, watching you go round. Like, there was like, and it's the same with anyone you watch. I've seen Piggy go a million times, and there's been moments where I've gone, oh, she doesn't look quite on it there. Like, do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
even when you lost your reins going down the leaf bit, I was like, he's fine. Even when there was that looked a little bit of he's fine. There was no moment where your concentration lapsed or your eyes weren't like, it was just extraordinary to watch. Like, there was no moment where I wasn't confident. Like, you know what I mean?
Because you're so good.
But you can watch the best in the world, and you can see a moment where their eyes are gone, or there's a moment where they're hesitating, or do you know what I mean? Like, that's any rider in the world. But I was not worried watching any moment of that. Like,
well, that's good to know. And to be fair, neither was I. Like, but I've been working on mindset a lot,
yeah.
and I've had a mindset coach in the last few weeks. I've had a few sessions with her, and she's lovely and really, really helpful. It's a little bit out there, some of the stuff she does. Like, you imagine a circle on the floor, and you basically kind of throw your positives into the circle, and then imagine that it shrinks down, and then you put it in your pocket, and then you can take it with you wherever you go, and just hang it off your saddle, kind of thing. And then you take those positive thoughts with you. That kind of stuff. I'm not totally convinced by, but I also think it obviously worked, because like on Saturday morning, I was better than I ever been. I was super happy, really excited about going around, couldn't wait to do it, to the point that I went out the window, and because Alice Casburn was coming back from walking the course on her bike, and I was like, how you doing, Alice? And she said, oh my God, I'm really, really nervous. And I said, oh, I feel great. Honestly, I literally can't wait. I'm really excited about it. And her mum
But she loved that.
and her mum was like, Are you okay?
Fuck off, Simon. I feel like shit. Right. All good for you, Simon. There's nothing worse than when you feel like shit and someone comes along like a pixie. Hi! But no, to be
No,
fair.
I know. So later on, I can tell you now, 'cause when I'd finished, and I finished on a clear round, and I was absolutely ecstatic. And poor old Piggy, I feel really bad. Poor old Piggy, had 2 run outs, and then she actually missed a part out of a combination, so she actually got
Oh.
stopped. And she was having an interview about how it had gone wrong, and I literally ran up to her and I said, "I'm really sorry, Piggy. I know it hasn't gone very well for you today, but oh my God, I've just had the best ride ever. It was so good." And I literally grabbed her and hugged her. So I feel like maybe I should ring her and apologize for being. But I mean, she was really sweet. She was like, "Bloody good on you. Well done. That's amazing." But I was a bit like, and on reflection, I was like, that was probably not
Hashtag
very cute.
awkward.
I know, I
Oh,
know. I mean, I just
pigs
feel like
won't
maybe I was a bit of
mind.
a silly
She's a
boy,
good
but
egg. You've got to celebrate in other people's moments as well, because
absolutely, yeah,
that's
no, it's true. And I
and
literally went around the entire collecting ring, hugging anybody that wanted. And it's Tom Stanley that was doing the interviewing, isn't it? And they interviewed me on that for Burghley TV, and he was like, "Oh my God, you look really happy," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm absolutely ecstatic because it was just so brilliant. I had this amazing time," and blah 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 blah. And then he was like, "Brilliant. Okay, back to you in the studio," or whatever it is that they say. And I literally just like grabbed him and gave him a hug, and I was like, "Oh my God, that was so cool." Poor guy, he's never met me before, and I was just like, I think I'm slightly embarrassing, but
It's because
but it
you're
was
used
so
to me at
good.
the end of a cross country, and we always have a good hug and a cry. I would have
Yeah.
cried. I would have cried. You always make me emotional. Take us through the course. Obviously, we can't do jump by jump because we haven't got fucking 4 days. But like I say, I want to talk about the leaf pit, but he just he's not the biggest jumper over a fence. Do you know what I
No,
mean? You know when you see horses that are giving it
he's
beans.
very efficient. He's very
He is
efficient.
very efficient, but he doesn't make your heart go in your mouth. I mean, there's been some horses which some riders have had over time where you're like, "Oh, they're going to leave that leg again."
Mm, yeah.
Obviously, I'm not going to say any names. Well, I can say Oliver Townend. Was it Flint Curtis, that horse that used to just always
No,
kind of
Flint Curtis was very, very good.
the same
No, it was
time as
another
that
one.
horse? You know
Yes,
the
what
one I
was it
mean?
called? Yeah, and it did used to leave a leg every so often. It
Yeah,
turned
it
over
was
at
when he had
Babington,
that
didn't it?
and the other one running, and that was
And
that
he
one
had
that he
that
at
really bad
Kentucky.
fall in Kentucky, and he had quite
Yes,
bad fall at Ballindennis, I think, off the same
yes.
horse.
You always watch that with a bit of like, oh, please don't die.
Mm,
But even though Buster doesn't give the fences beans, and even when he's stretching or doing something, I think because you have this relationship where you allow him to have his head and neck wherever he wants it, and he's
mm,
always straight. Like even though you have him, you do ride him on quite a long rein. I feel, he's straight, like his head to his shoulders to his tail. It looks like he's on a line the whole time, and
yeah,
very maneuverable. So that it doesn't feel heart stopping to watch him be economical, which I think
yeah,
um, it's also brilliant for the sport because you can watch it and really enjoy it. Like you can love it.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Obviously, I'm guessing it feels like that. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but would I be right in saying that's how he feels? I've gone into
Oh, yeah.
interview mode. I'm like at the end
Yeah,
of the
no,
course.
he's very economical, but I really trust him, and he's very clever. And the bigger the cross country fences get, the more he tries and the more effort he makes. And it's a little bit like that actually. Jumping in general at home, if you make something really complicated and awkward, he'll actually try a lot harder. Um, but as far as the course goes, it was a great course, like really lovely and proper challenging. But like 1 and 2, relatively straightforward, and then you jumped to roll top, and then you went down into the lake, which is where Michael Young fell a few years ago. I think it was
Yes.
2017. No,
Yeah,
20
just coming out to turn right. And
was it
yes, it must.
2015 when that
Oh,
happened?
God. But he was on for the Rolex Grand Slam, wasn't he? Or
He
something.
was, yeah, and he was one
Yes.
after me. And I remember, but he galloped in, the horse just fell over.
Yeah.
So I was like, so I did have that in my mind a little bit, but actually
Oh, God.
I still went quite quick down there. And then then you went underneath the bridge, jumped a fence out, and that was fine. That was great. And then a table, and then there was a whacking great big hedge directly into the lake, across the causeway, over the little island in the middle. And then you did a step out, bouncing over a shoulder brush. And I thought to
So
myself,
that's what you practiced, wasn't it?
And that's what I practiced. And as I approached it, I thought, you practiced this. Now, come on, let's do this. And he wasn't 100% sure because it was a lot bigger than the one that we practiced. But he absolutely listened to me and was superb. So that was great. And then you went up quite a steep hill, long pull, and then you went through capability cutting, which is like a really like it's like a dike that you have to go through, like it's really deep across a road, and then up to the dairyman, and that's where I was a little bit. I think that's where I wasted my time because I was actually a bit concerned about him getting tired. I have a bit of a thing about. I really worry about them becoming really tired at the last few fences, and them, struggling. I hate the idea of them struggling. Like I want them to have a nice time and enjoy it. So I kind of tend to not gallop as much because I'm trying to save them for later. So up that hill, I kind of backed off and let him go at his own pace. And then you had the dairyman, which was probably one of the most difficult fences on the course. You had up a slope, parallel, curve on 4 or 5 strides to a corner, and then straight on down a really steep slope on 4 strides to a skinny arrowhead brush. And I went on 6 and 6, whereas it walked on 4 and 4. But to be fair,
you were show jumping it then.
Yeah, I was. But to be fair, I didn't see anybody go on 4 and 4. Most people went on 5 and 5. Well, in fact, no, there was a big mixture. There was like 6 and 5, 5 and 5, 6 and 6. Like it kind of, you just had to get your line and ride to it.
So differently? So anyone listening to this who might not be an eventing aficionado, when you walk a course, you basically work out how many strides the horse is going to take in between the fences. And normally there's a half stride to whatever, and you might get 5 and 5 when you've walked a 4 and 4, or a 4 and a 6, or because you've landed in a heap over one, you've had to fix it and take a curving line. But to get a 6 and a 6 when it's walked a 4 and a 4 is actually quite, like, that's a big difference.
It is a big difference, but it did walk differently to how it rode, and to be fair, like Chris Bartle would always say, you don't need to ride. You don't need to know the distance. You need to ride what you're feeling underneath you and what the horse is giving you. And actually,
100%.
there's a lot to be said for that. But he was mega through there, like mega, because the corner after the parallel was really oblique. It was such a tight turn, which we had practiced in the school, but you can never really practice for that. Well, it's a solid big corner with a brush on it. But super pleased with that. And then we cracked on down another long gallop where again I didn't go crazy, and I should have asked a bit more probably in hindsight. And you had a great big log through a dip on the curve, corner on the way out. And then the Cottesmore Leap, which is the biggest fence on the course. It's got a massive open ditch in the front of it, which you could drive a Defender through. And
very specific type of car, Defender.
Yeah,
it has to be a Defender.
Yeah.
No other car's allowed to drive through that.
It might be a Discovery. I don't know. And then you went down Winders Avenue, and you did a big log pile and then 2 upright gates on the curve on 6 strides. And upright gates are never an event rider's friend, because they're just quite easy to kind of.
Do you remember when Pippa fell off and had to be hospitaled out because I think she got studded? Was that at Badminton or was it Burghley?
Was that when she fell off twice?
Yes,
she fell off,
and then she got hospitalised, got a helicopter, checked her out, helicopter back, she rode again, and then I think she fell off again.
Yeah, she fell off at the same jump. Yeah, I can't remember what year that was.
Oh, it's probably out of your eventing knowledge remit.
I think it might be 1999, but
which is a bit after your kind of knowledge time, yeah.
It is a little bit. It definitely wasn't 94, not 94. Yeah, it might be 99. Anyway, so 2 big upright gates, and then you then galloped down, and then you jumped a massive, great big parallel of brushes, which my sister was fence judging. So as I jumped that, I shouted high fee because she's.
Oh my God, Simon, you were meant to be concentrating. I
know, but my mum's fence judged there every time I've ridden there, and whenever I've jumped her jump, I shout hi, mum. But mum, it's really ageist. Like mum's now 70, so they won't let her fence judge.
Oh,
there's an age limit.
Is that what's annoyed your mum this week?
Yeah, I think it's annoyed me a bit because it's a bit ageist, and it makes her feel. But
do you think it's because of in case something happens, or I don't know, maybe could she not judge it with someone else?
Oh yeah, no, they've got several judges on the fence.
That's a bit annoying.
Anyway, and then you go over the little bridge because you cross over where the course has already been, through another capabilities cutting, and then you did these 2 angle brushes with ditches in front. And I didn't particularly like that. It just didn't flow very well. But Buster was amazing. He's just so cool. And then another long gallop where again I didn't push him as much as I probably should have done. But on the Saturday morning when I walked the course really early. And as I was walking up to the next, which was the maltings, which is like 2 fences curved to corners, as I was walking towards them, my gut just said, "You need to go long here." And I was like, "Why am I thinking that?" And then my logical side was like, "Well, he's inexperienced at the level. You've asked a lot of him already. You're going to ask a lot of him still. Why not give him an easier time here and educate him about the next one?" Because the corners were very similar. So I took a bit more time, did the bunny the wrong way, and then round, and I jumped the corner completely independently. Whereas on the straight, you had to jump a bunny and then turn to the corner on 4 strides.
Because imagine if you'd got to that point and had a run out. Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah.
In hindsight, I think he would have done it pretty easily. But I didn't want, I wanted to have a really lovely experience and enjoy himself, and not feel like I have gone to the well too many times and he hasn't enjoyed it. I made a pact with myself that I was going to really enjoy this week, and I wanted to have fun. And in order for me to have fun, my horse has to have fun and enjoy it. So, and that's what I wanted. I wanted both of us to enjoy it. And if either of us weren't, I was going to be pulling up. But at this stage, he was feeling pretty cool, and he jumped that corner like an absolute boss. And then it was straight on, big oxer, curved to a right-handed corner. And I thought, well, he's jumped that so brilliantly. I think we're good to crack on with the direct route at this one. And he just was fabulous. Fabulous. He's amazing. And
jazz hands and everything. Yeah. Anyone listening to this just on the audio version, because hopefully we'll put this on YouTube eventually when I get my shit together. Simon just did some rather camp jazz hands, which is fabulous. Probably the campest I've ever seen you.
Honestly, Jenny, he was so good. Like, he was just so good. Like, he was just like, "Yeah, I've got it. Where are we going?" And I was like, "Oh, we're kind of jumping that skinny over there." And he's like, "Okay, I'm going to jump it." Like, he was just so good. And then you did a big triple bar, which is really, I didn't particularly like where they sighted it, because it actually made quite a big drop for them, which was a bit of a shame. Then down a hill into Discovery Valley, which is like where all the trade stands are, the food area is. And you had to do a house, 1 stride, ditch on the angle, 3 strides, corner, 2 strides on the curve to a house. So it was a big mouthful. It was lots to do. But by this point, I was thinking, this horse is absolutely epic. Like, this is going to be great. And he skipped through there like an
literally like ping, bang, pong, off we go.
Honestly, it was just, he was brilliant. And ears pricked, loved it. Then you had a whacking great big chicaner. Then you went up to the the leaf pit. And you jump off the leaf pit's really famous, guys. It's like a massive, massive drop down onto a steep slope. So it looks like you're jumping into complete oblivion. And then you curved, and then you did 2 skinny little triple bars on 3 strides on the curve. And I cantered round to the step down, and he literally just was like, "Yeah, cool, got it off." And he literally threw himself off. I was like, "Whoa, hang on a minute."
Were you expecting him to go off so well? Because I saw you starting to slip the reins. And which is just like, again, it's so Lucinda Green, isn't it? If they can't see it, they won't do it. And that's what people do wrong, don't they? Don't look at it, just go. Whereas I saw you starting to slip the reins, and then you kept slipping, and you kept slipping them.
Yeah.
And then I was like, "You've got no reins." And I think it was William Fox Pitt was like, "Oh, he's got an Tina Cook." Was like,
yeah.
And then,
William was like, "Shorten your reins.
Yeah.
So I kind of I literally basically stopped the poor chap in his tracks, and I was like, "Whoa, hang on," and shortened the reins. And then I was like, "And now there it is." And he basically jumped these 2 skinny things a little bit on his own, because I wasn't being very helpful. But
that was your training. That was the training.
Absolutely.
That was, as Lucinda Green would say, you put your training in. He saw the flags. He knew to jump them, and
yes,
it didn't. I'm going to blow smoke up your backside now, and not that you've had enough of that this week. I'll take the piss out of you at some point when we talk about the interviews. That's still to come, Simon. You're not getting away with that. But from a spectator point of view, there is nothing worse than when a rider loses their reins, they slam down on their back and they pull the horse's back teeth out to get their balance back, because they've lost balance because the reins have gone. And it does happen at 5-star level. I'm sorry. You see it all the time. Whoa, gob, shite, bloody arse. You sat back and he went, "Oh, Dad's used his weight. I'm going to slow the hell down." And you gathered up the reins. You didn't even go to your hand to slow him. Like, I've watched it about 20 times. It was fucking genius. Like,
Oh, that's
honest to
very nice of
God,
you.
Simon, I get emotional about it because it's one of the best bits of riding I think I've like seen down that leaf pit. But you see riders panic, pull, whatever, and that responsiveness of training isn't there. And
Yeah.
honestly, it was a testament to your work,
Yeah,
your
well, because
partnership.
as soon as I was like, "Wait a second," he was like, "Whoa, what are we waiting for? Yeah, what do you want me
Yeah.
to do?" And that is where this horse is so fabulous. Like, because if you say go, he's like, "Okay, I'm going." If you say whoa, he says, "Whoa, what are we doing?" Like, he is
Yeah, but that
just,
only happens if you've built a partnership. That doesn't
yeah, I
that's
agree.
not
I
something that
agree.
just happens. So yes, you put the credit on him, but your training, that horses don't do that if they don't, and then they don't go, "Oh, okay, when am I jumping again?" Some horses
Yeah,
then go, "Well, the energy's gone, the engine's cut out. I'm not fucking jumping that." Like,
yeah, no,
that
that is
is
true.
where that was a masterclass. I'm sorry, it was.
Oh, you're very kind, thank you.
Wow,
Um, but
well
by this
deserved.
point, he was starting to feel a bit tired. And when I jumped
Oh,
through the Discovery Valley before the Leaf Pit, I started doing my usual, which I do near the end of the course. I start shouting at him, like, as in not in a horrible way, as in like, "Come on, mate, you can do it. Just keep going for me. Keep going. It's not much further. Come on, you can
we've
keep."
had messages about this, by the way. People have
Honestly,
messaged on Instagram going, "We love Simon." You can hear him saying, "Come on, Buster, we've
and
got
it's
this."
it's it's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing, but I
It's
can't help
not, it's
myself.
amazing. If you were talking to a child, you would cheer them on. Your voice is a tool, it's an aid. You just fucking
Well,
use it. You're not singing the
I'm
coronation theme tune on the way round, do you know what I mean? You're encouraging your best mate to help you get over the line.
no, absolutely, it is for him. It is not like, I'm like, "Come on, mate. Come on, you can do it. You like, we've got this. You're doing an amazing job. Come on, keep going, keep going." I mean, he's got no idea what I'm talking about, and he's probably thinking, "Oh, shut up, you moron." But but it makes me feel better. Like, but it is very much aimed at him. It's like, "Come on, you
We
can do
can't
it."
hear
But
you because his ears are pointing forward the whole time.
I know, I know. It's so cute. But yeah, and then through the main arena, he was definitely like, he definitely felt a bit tired, and he's a little bit more low flying over the two houses. But like, and then I landed those. I was like, "Right, come on, boy, we've got two more, just two more for me. Come on, you can do it. You can do just two more fences. Come on, you're doing so great." And the second to last was freaking massive. Like, it's a
Yeah, it was
seat.
so big.
It's steep, but like, it's huge and really wide, and yeah, and he just jumped it like an absolute boss, like amazing. And then round to the last, which is quite close, so relatively closely related, and again I kind of balanced him. I was like, "Right, now, come on, last fence, gotta do it." Yeah. And he jumped it amazingly, and I landed and just was like, the elation was just unbelievable. I was just like, we've just jumped clear on the 5-star, me and this little horse, who, when he first came was just this little pipsqueaky thing that could be quite naughty and wasn't a great show jumper. And I was just like, and we've just jumped clear around Burghley. Like, this is unbelievable and so amazing. And it's caused loads of trouble. And I just was punching the air and just so excited. And,
I did
um,
notice you didn't drop your rain contact when you were celebrating, though. Well done.
no, yeah, no, thank you. I'm glad he knows that. um, and I pulled up properly. But honestly, I was just so excited. So, and then I jumped off, and I did, like, I pulled up with a connection, stopped, and I jumped off, and I just started jumping up and down and hugging everyone. It was just the most. It is like finishing any. I've said this to you before. Finishing any 5-star is just such a high, and I was literally just sky high, and just loved it. It was just brilliant. I was hugging everybody in the collecting me, even people I don't know. It was just
I
great.
love that. Yeah, because anyone listening, one of Simon's pet hates is when people celebrate and just drop the horse at the end of a 5-star, and the horse is like, "You've been holding on to me for this whole time, and now you've just dropped me." They don't know they finished at that point. So I was like, "Oh, Simon, but you
I
didn't do
know,
it."
I know. I was getting a little bit close to the wind, I think, of
Yes,
like,
sailing.
my
Yeah.
my own thing. But I definitely, I maintained a contact to support him. So yeah, I'm going to stay
And
with
then
that.
you have to do. So what people don't realise is when you are at the end of a cross country course, and some riders love it, a lot of them do not. There is a person that will come along and say, "Right, you've got to come and do media now." Whether it be Burghley TV or you have to come and talk to a plethora of press who are waiting, and we get put in a hut where we can watch it, and we all run out when we want the riders. And it's very interesting because everybody wants certain riders, and then you get some riders who nobody wants. So that's very awkward when they bring them up and there's no press waiting for them. Um, and then you're normally me and you have a hug, and you're very sweaty, but I never mind. Um, but like, how is that in that moment? Because I feel like riders want to be with their horse, but you've also got to do that press. But you know your horse is in very good hands. But some riders get quite funny about it, don't they? They
Yeah,
don't want to go and do that media.
yeah. No, and I completely understand that. To be fair, I was whisked straight off, and um, I don't particularly like leaving my horse like that.
No,
Um,
I think there could be more of a beat. Like I was watching on the TV, and I it's not the lady in question's fault. She has a job to do. I won't say her name. But I could see her. I can't remember which rider it was, and she was there as her feet hit the ground, like almost ferrying her before she'd even seen if the horse was okay, done the
yeah,
congratulations, and I was like, oh, that's too soon. That is too soon,
yeah,
even by. I'm always
yeah,
like, please don't lose the rider. We have to have them because we've got
yeah,
our job to do as well. But I was like, if you're there when the rider's getting off, that's too soon.
yeah.
Like,
I
yeah,
agree. I
it's
agree.
too.
And I didn't. Yeah, I love, as you know, I love chatting, and I love, and I you know, and I was so excited, and I love talking about it. But I did feel like I was being like kind of held away from my horse, and he's like, he is absolutely my responsibility, and making sure that he's okay is my biggest responsibility. And I wasn't actually allowed to do that, which, yeah, there must be a better way of doing it. There must
Yeah,
be.
I agree. I agree. Maybe we need to just find a way between media and riders where it can be, because it is a live stream and you're
Yeah, do you
under
know, I've not even really thought
television.
about it. I've not even, but actually, I do. I think you are right, because I don't, because they then whisked me off to go and commentate for Burghley TV, which is brilliant, great experience, and I loved it, really enjoyed it. But I was like, I didn't even see my horse back to his stable. Like, the girls did it, and I totally trust them, and like, and Jerry as well. There's Jerry and Evie who own him, and then there's Maggie and Amanda and Catherine, who I absolutely trust. And but I don't know. There was just I just felt a bit like, oh, I've kind of like abandoned him. He's just done all that for me. I've literally just abandoned him. But he was in good hands. But I don't know. Oh, I don't know. It's a mental thing.
Yeah, and I can totally get it because I can see both sides of it. Not that I've ridden around a 5-star, not even close. But even riding around novices or whatever level, if someone said to me, "Oh no, you can't now go and sort your horse out," I'd be heartbroken because it is
Mm,
that you've asked them this big task. So I do think that I know there's time pressures and media and live TV and blah blah blah, but I feel like there is sometimes I feel like there's a methodology that maybe could be addressed, but
yes.
I'm probably will never get invited back to Burley now for saying that out loud. I'm very sorry. I probably shouldn't, but hey, it's out there. We talk about this stuff. So, on a lighter note, you do then have to do media. Simon Grieve. You are just brilliant on camera. It's like the filter goes out of your brain sometimes as well. Like you didn't do an Abbey Lyle where it was the best ride of your life
No,
repeatedly.
not
Um,
quite.
but you get more and more high pitched the more excited you get, especially after your show jumping.
Oh yeah,
It's fucking brilliant.
I was just so happy with him. He was just so brilliant. And the cross country one, yeah, I hugged Tom. I mean, the poor guy. I've never met him before in my life, and
Were
like
you
I just like
sweating as well? Were you
I was, yeah,
dripping?
I was really, but I did have my back protector on, so it wasn't as bad. But like I was pretty sweaty and skanky. But yeah, and I can't remember what I said, but I just had, I was telling him what a brilliant time I had, and it was wonderful. Like I just, yeah,
I
and
love
it's
it.
lovely to relive, and yeah, it's really cool.
And then obviously that night you've got to make sure he's okay and sound
Yeah,
and yada
and
yada yada.
he was looking really good. He'd wrenched a shoe a little bit, but nothing drastic. So we had that kind of put back on, well, corrected and put back on properly. And yeah, and then then we had there was a big party on Saturday night, but I didn't go to any parties because I kind of wanted to be in really good form for Sunday. And the trot up was at 9:30. he trotted up really nicely. I wore the same outfit, and that's okay. Um,
No,
and
Simon Grieve, you must don a dress for round 2 of. I need to make sure. I want to get gear made for you next year with Shut Up and Ride in some blazers on your back, but no, I
yeah,
don't think that looks very.
some
Yeah,
fuchsia
shut up.
pink jacket.
Could you imagine though if you had Shut Up and Ride written on the back? That would be fucking brilliant, whether they knew it was a podcast or
Well, I had
not.
"Shut Up and Ride" written on my merch all week.
I
So
know, I saw. You did look very good. Thank you very much.
yeah, very good, very good.
Um, could you imagine though if you won, and then that was like your story was being told, and then you had Shut Up and Ride on your trot up? It'd be hilarious.
Mm.
But then show jumping,
Yeah.
how because
It was
you
amazing
are,
because I was in 19th place after cross country, and I've never
I
been in the top
know.
20. I've never jumped in the afternoons because the top 20 always jump in the afternoon. So I jumped in the afternoon, which was a massive thing for me. And the crowd, so for the afternoon session, the morning one's normally relatively quiet. You get a few people spectating, but not not a massive group. But in the afternoon, it's rammed. It's very difficult to get a ticket for the show jumping because it's completely full of subscribed, and the grandstands were heaving. So I hacked up there, and then I jumped off to go and walk the course. And Ros Cantor was walking it at the same time, but the band were marching up and down, and they were standing in random places. So we were we were basically having to walk the distances when they'd moved, and then we were walking the treble, and then all of a sudden they started playing the national anthem. So I took my hat off and stood still, and so did Ros, and then they only played part of it. And then the guy started marching up to the royal box and stamped his feet a few times. And I was like, "Can we go now, Ros, or not?" And she's like, "I don't know. I think we probably need to stand here still because they didn't actually finish the national anthem, did they?" And I was like, "No, but I think they have finished." Oh no! And then he was moving again. I was like, "We'll just stand here with our hat on." And I was like, "But I really need to get on really soon." And she's like, "I need to finish walking this because I'm in the lead." And anyway, so and then they carried on, and we did then finish walking the course. And actually, I feel like I did her a good service because after fence 2, you went round the water tray to fence 3, but you could cut inside the water tray to save a little bit of time. And I said, "Oh, this morning, Ros, they were cutting inside the water tray to get to number 3." And she's like, "Oh, I hadn't walked that line. I'll walk it now." And that's the route she took.
And
So
that is
thanks to
pretty cool.
me,
Yeah,
she won
she would
Burghley.
not have won. She
Yeah.
would not have
Without that
won.
advice, she wouldn't have won.
Yeah, well,
Just saying.
exactly, Simon Grieve.
Nothing to do with the fact
Um,
that she is absolutely insanely brilliant.
oh, she's amazing. She
Oh,
is
she's
Wonder Woman.
incredible. She's absolutely incredible.
Well, we'll talk about her at the end. Fob her off. We'll talk about. I want to dedicate a bit to her at the end. That's why, not just slagging her off. Go away, Ros. It's not about you right now. It's about Simon fucking Grieve. So how do I say that without sounding rude? Buster isn't. Were you confident going in? Because, like you've said before, show jumping wasn't always his bestest, but you have done a lot of show jumping, and I feel like you have
show jump
probably
a
done
lot.
more than most.
Yeah, I
Yes.
show jump a lot, and I'm very confident with my show jumping. And Buster is not that confident with his, or hasn't been. And so I take him out all the time. And actually, the last 2 shows we've been to, he has jumped really, really well and been very convincing.
Yeah.
But at Bramham, he had 4 fences down. At Blenheim, he had 2 fences down. So, and he is a bit tip-tappy anyway. So, the likelihood of having a fence down is relatively high. But I've been practicing because obviously you do cross country one day and then you show jump the next 3-day event.
Yeah.
And I've never really practiced that before. And I just decided that I thought it was a really good idea to do my gallop work one day and then take him to a show jumping show the next, so that he gets used to having done quite a lot of work one day, then he show jumps the next. And the last 2 times that we went to shows, I did that, and he jumped like an absolute demon both times. So I was thinking, I thought that was a good preparation thing. So that's another reason why I felt really prepared. So I kind of took confidence from that, and he's also better when he's fresh. And actually it was quite good having the band there and the crowd being so kind of big. He was like, "Ooh, what are we doing?" And he kind of jazzed him up. And oh my God, he tried. He tried
Yeah,
so
there
hard.
was. I have to say, it's watching. I mean, I've just been at Spruce Meadows watching the best show jumpers in the world. It's a very different jumping style watching eventers, not just
Oh, I
Buster.
mean, but Buster does have a technique of his own.
Yes. And I do feel like, obviously, when you're jumping, what happens when you show jump and whatever, when you're training at home, you want to do as little as possible and make sure
Yeah.
that they're doing the majority of the work and you sit quiet. It did watch a little bit like an element of you were jumping the jumps just as much as he was.
Oh
There
my
was
God,
like,
yeah,
you
like I
are,
needed a forward roll over him over the final part of the
yes.
treble.
That you were like, if you could have gone and get on my back, I'll jump this for you, you would
Yeah,
have done. Like
but
every fence, you were kind of lifting him. He was not going to touch a fence. You were like,
but
come on.
when I walked the treble, it was two strides upright, one stride oxer, and the two strides to me walked quite short, and then the one stride
Okay.
walked quite long.
So you had to punch out. Yeah.
But there was a back rail on the final part. So I was like, I was like, whoa, hang on. So I was supporting for the two, and then we landed. And I was like, right, come on, we need to get that one, and you need to
Yeah.
then stretch to get that back rail. So
But
that's
without
why,
flattening him and then
yeah,
kicking out the back
and
part of
that's
it.
why I became so active there. Right, well, I mean, it was right because he cleared it, but
Oh
yeah,
no, it's Burghley. If you're going to be active in a show jumping ground, Burghley is the time to do it.
yeah,
But it
yeah,
does always
but
astonish me how eventers have this ability to sometimes in the show jumping go from fucking amazing, best in the world round a cross country course to absolutely annihilating and getting a fence wrong show jumping.
Tom Jackson did. He was in just before me, and absolutely, completely annihilated and upright.
But you wouldn't do that at home. He would never do that training at a show jumping ground anywhere else.
But quite a lot of event riders aren't particularly accurate.
But it's amazing, isn't it? How you can go around
Mm.
the cross country and yet totally miss on the show jumping. Like it's a different beast, the show jumping. And I don't think people realise
absolutely
quite
is.
how hard it is. It's bloody
Absolutely is.
hard. Yeah.
I
And that's
love it.
where I think you have to take your hat off to people like yourself, Gemma Tattersall, like
Oh God,
some riders.
Gemma's brilliant. She is really brilliant.
Like what she can do over show jumping is amazing. And what you did, like you didn't breathe for a fence. Every fence you were on it, you picked him up. Like it was brilliant to watch. But it's interesting how when I was watching the show jumping, I was holding my breath more than I was watching the cross country.
Oh yeah, but the cross country, like he's very at home and he's very comfortable and he's very happy with.
Yeah.
Show jumping, he's happy enough, but he needs a lot of help.
Yeah. And it's just, whereas you just think, how is that? Like the show jumping should feel easier. Like do you know what I mean? That is why he's an eventer. But you land over that last fence.
Yes. And
the crowd.
And the crowd went mental, and it was so lovely. Like so lovely. Everyone got so excited for us, and it was amazing. Honestly, Jenny, it was so nice.
Do you think Buster could feel that? Like, do you think the horses can feel the
Oh
crowds?
well, I
for them?
think so. And actually, looking at the videos back, like he looks like he thinks he's the absolute dog's bollocks. Like he's like, I'm the cow that's got the cream. I'm amazing. We're all amazing. You're amazing too, Simon. This is great. And
it's going to be such a downer when he's next competing at like Aston Lawals. He's like, where are the crowds?
Yeah, where has everyone gone? Everyone needs to clap me. But yeah, no, it was a wonderful, wonderful week, and the response from people that I've had since has been absolutely amazing. And yeah, so thank you so much. Anybody that has sent messages or cheered for us or given us a clap, I'm really grateful because it's been the most fabulous, fabulous time. So thank you very much.
And we have to mention first of all, like the top three, Harry Mead. I mean, my goodness.
Harry was absolutely, like, he is so brave and bold, and he is a technician now on a cross-country course. He really is spectacular. Really is.
And Austin, if you haven't listened to Austin O'Connor's podcast on here, please go back and listen to it. He is, I mean, it's one of the funniest and rudest podcasts we've ever done. It's the Pub Pod. But my God, that man, I just fucking love him. I love him. And Salty and just the whole team. And just, again, like, I feel like that horse for him has really shown us what he's capable of. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's on a horse now that can really Like, oh, he's just fucking brilliant, isn't he? I love him.
Yeah,
I just
absolutely spectacular.
cannot. But we have to talk about the woman of the moment. Am I right in saying he's the first horse to win Badminton Burghley twice?
I think so, yeah.
I mean, but I feel like she could do that on
E
more horses. I don't.
absolutely, yeah. Like,
She's
I mean,
just,
he is really special, and she knows that, and she says that. Like, he still needs to be kept on the straight and narrow.
yeah.
But like she knows that he is spectacularly talented and an amazing, amazing horse. So, but she's incredible. She's incredible.
And I
She's
know
so,
she was preggo, which
yeah,
I don't know, like people were talking about, obviously, and you can't not talk about it. And I know people will question her like sanity on that or judge her for it. But I don't know. Obviously, Roz is Roz, but she knows that horse. Do you know what
yeah.
I mean? Like, I don't know if she'd have taken a first time horse round Burghley being that pregnant. I don't know. You know her very well. Do you think
Mm.
it is that relationship? Why she
Oh
could do
God,
it?
100%, 100%.
Yeah.
She absolutely trusts that horse implicitly. She trusts him completely, and I mean, I don't know how much risk she was taking by going and doing that. I mean, I wasn't going to question her. She's no fool. She's a
No.
very, she's actually very intelligent. And she's, she's like I say, she's no fool, and she makes the right choices about lots of things. So I would never doubt her on something like that. But I think some people have. She was showing a
Oh,
bit,
100%. Yeah. But again, it's her choices, and I don't think she would do it on a horse that she didn't have 100% faith in. So it's not like she's recklessly jumping around. Like if she's not going to take a bust around first 5 star, do you know what I mean? In that
No, yeah,
way,
exactly, and
she's
that would be silly.
yeah. So, but I really don't want that to take away from the feat of what she has accomplished, which is
Oh,
quite
just
extraordinary.
yeah, incredible. Absolutely incredible. She's a proper technician, and yeah, and a lovely girl too.
Do you think we can get her on the pod?
Yeah, I reckon so. I'll ask her.
Well, she's your bestie. So, Simon Grieve, what is your highlight of Burghley?
I'll come through the finish of cross country.
Was it?
Oh, actually, all coming through the finish of the show jumping. One or the other. Do I have to pick?
No. You can
Okay,
have
that's
both.
right. Woo!
And
But yeah,
the
but
more important,
it's on my Instagram, it's on my social media. So go and have a look because yeah, it makes me get all goosebumpy whenever I see it.
I have a feeling most of the people probably have seen it already, Simon.
Okay, well, yeah, don't fool yourselves.
Everyone has followed you. Like the fans are there. More important question than that: how is Buster?
That was great. Out in the field today. Looks great. Looks really good. I don't know whether I should say this or not. It's terribly unprofessional. But so to be qualified for a 5 star, I'm a category B rider. So Buster only needs to have one qualifying result. It's 4 star long. And actually, I was too slow at Blenheim, so that wasn't a qualifying result. So I had to, in order to not lose his 5 star qualification, I had to have no more than 4 fences down at Burghley. And so I was actually slightly nervous about that because I really wanted to do badminton because he finished in the top 50% at Burghley.
So
So
even though
therefore,
you were in a 5 star, you could lose your 5 star qualification.
correct, if I didn't get a qualifying result. And a qualifying
Ah, so
result
just
is
turning up didn't qualify you for
no.
another
So
one.
if a qualifying result is no more than 4 show jumps down, which is quite a lot of show jumps to be fair.
And what about cross country? You don't have to be clear. What's the
You
cross
have to be.
country?
I think you have to be clear. Yeah, with no more than 40 time faults, or is it 42? 40 or 42 time faults in a 5 star, and no more than 35 time faults in a 4 star long.
Okay. So you were worried
And
about
no
that
more than
going.
and no more than 35 penalties in the dressage. No,
Um,
or was it 45? Oh, I can't remember. No,
I
45.
think 45.
I wasn't allowed any more than 4 show jumps down, and I got round to 4 from home. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I can have every one of these jumps down and I still qualify for badminton. Amazing.
Not not what you should be thinking, really, at that moment.
That's possibly one of the most unprofessional things you can start thinking, isn't it, really?
Just planning your next 5-star as you're pootling round in front of how many thousands of people?
Yeah, exactly. And then I landed over the last and I was like, yes, amazing. Oh, honestly, it was just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
So
Loved it.
you think he's a badminton horse? Because badminton and Burghley are very different beasts.
Oh, God, he's 100% a badminton horse. Yeah.
That's so exciting.
It's so exciting. I literally, I can't wait.
And I mean, even Pippa Funnel wants to steal him. Like, everyone has been saying a lot of lovely things about you on the commentary.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
William Fox Pitt. Oh my God, so I haven't told you that, have I? William Fox Pitt. I went to commentate straight after my round, and I was taking over from William, who had been commentating on my round. And he stood up, took his earphones off, and he stood up and he put his hand out like a Paul Hollywood Bake Off
handshake.
Handshake. Gave me a handshake, and he's like, anyone would think that you could ride. And I was like, oh my God, I love you, William. I was like, thanks,
If
Will.
anyone else had said that, you'd be like, yeah, fuck off. But William Fox Pitt can definitely say that. Like,
He absolutely can.
goat.
He absolutely can.
I think Mickey Young,
brilliant.
you'd take that from, like, Ingrid, maybe. Do you know what I mean? There's a few riders you think, yeah, that's a good comment.
I mean,
That's
he's an
excellent.
absolute legend. And also, the other thing about William is he does not mince his words. He would not, if he thought I'd done a bad job, he just wouldn't mention anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Simon Grieve, what has annoyed you this week? Or do you want me to go first while you're thinking about it?
You go first. I'll think.
Prime TV.
Oh, why?
So, I don't know how much I'm allowed to say about this. So I have recently been working at Spruce Meadows, biggest equestrian event in the world ever. It's the biggest prize money in equestrian sport across the board, 5 million. Biggest riders. Like, I always knew Spruce was going to be amazing, but it is on a scale of nothing like World Championships, Olympics. I mean, it was incredible. The course was insane. Like, it was, and I was commentating live for Clip My Horse TV for their in-out studio, which is brilliant to be back live show jumping. I haven't done live for a very long time, since before Delilah, so I was very nervous. And but before that class, I was producer as well, making the features. So when you watch a live studio show or live stream, whatever you watch, you see these features like rider interviews or whatever. And so I was doing features, and one of the features was the British won the Nations Cup class. So we had to interview them. And you have to get a very specific camera angle and everything. So I start my interview and I've got Di Lampard, Matt Sampson, Donald Whitaker, Ben Mayer, all ready to be interviewed in a line. And basically what is happening at the moment, they're making a documentary with Prime, where a bit like kind of what they've done with Formula One racing. And they're following these riders everywhere. I don't really know much about it. I probably can't say too much, but they're following certain riders all over the place. And the crew that were following these riders is vast. Like, I cannot tell you how much crew they had. So there was more cameras and audio guys and everything following riders, which was fine. They're all really lovely. But while I'm doing my interview, they obviously wanted in on it. And so, these massive boom stick mics, they stick one of those in my shot. They nudge my cameraman out of the way. So our shot just goes. But I don't know that because my cameraman's behind me. So we couldn't stop and start again. You also can't ask 4 British riders, the best in the world, and Di to stop and start again in that moment. And there's so many people watching. So that annoyed me. And then I was having a rather personal conversation with one of the English riders later on about something. And probably like saying something that I didn't want listened to. And he was on a golf buggy and I'm chatting away to him. And anyway, I turn around and there's a bloody camera and a boom mic. And they're recording this conversation.
Oh no, that's really bad.
Yeah, and I turn around, I'm like, are you recording this? They're like, it's reality
this
TV.
Is private.
I'm like, no. Like, but also you don't want to be the diva TV presenter, producer that's been like, don't record me, thanks very much.
Oh, no, but Jenny, that's the label that you do so well.
Yeah. Yes, I am a diva.
Yeah.
So anyway,
you should have just rolled with that.
But yeah, I was a bit like, oh, I'm not in Made in Chelsea here. Thanks very much. Like,
yeah.
So anyway, but again, I really want the sport to be developed. So I want something like this to be made. but it makes you very like, oh shit, because I've got honesty Tourette's and getting myself in trouble. So yeah, don't slag someone off when this camera's around. It's the moral of that story, Simon.
Yeah, that is not good.
No, I wasn't slagging them off. They'd just been really rude to me, so I was partaking that information to another rider that is not rude and never rude.
Yeah, so slagging them
But
off.
yes,
Yeah.
I was slagging them off. Yeah, so I'm I am annoyed that I got caught out, basically. Oh, anyway, what's annoyed you?
What else has annoyed? What has annoyed me? I don't know. I don't know what's annoyed me, to be honest. I've had such a brilliant week. Very little.
It's good, but you are tired.
Yes. Oh, yes. That's annoyed me. I'm tired yet again. I'm always tired, but I'm tired because it's been fantastic. So I can't really complain too much. But I'll whinge about it anyway. Yeah, there you go. That's annoyed me. That I'm tired still.
Does it feel like a bit of a come down, or are you okay?
No,
Like, are
no.
you?
Like I'm thrilled. Like with the whole thing. I'm so happy with how I rode. I'm so happy with how we went. I kind of feel like, oh, that's one thing that's annoyed me a bit. I looked up just now. I looked on the Defender Burghley website, Facebook page, and they've done a little reel of me like landing over the last fence, and I punched the air, and then I can't gallop round, and then it stops filming. And when it stopped filming, I then patted him, and then I punched the air again, and then I patted him again. Anyway, but somebody's commented underneath it saying he never patted his horse, as in like,
Oh,
what a bastard for not patting his horse. And I'm
you
like,
patted your horse the whole bloody way round. Can I just say?
but like, but yeah, it's this really small snapshot, isn't it, of like the whole thing? And they were like, oh, he's horrible because he's not patted his horse, and I was like, oh, but I did.
Send
No,
anyone who
so
is a
it's not
friend of
annoyed me. It's
Simon.
just upset me, I suppose.
I guarantee, though, your army of defenders on your social media who know you.
You
Will
know,
probably get on that person.
somebody had already said,
Yeah,
I was there and he did pat his horse. So
yeah.
basically,
Watch
back off.
yourself, that person. The Simey massive will come after you.
Yeah.
So many people have sent us messages as well saying, "I've never seen Simon look so determined," and I've just replied, "It's action, Simey."
Yeah. No, honestly, I'm so grateful for all the support. Thank you so much to anybody that has shown support, sent messages, or been there and cheered us along. Honestly, it's just been, I've had the time of my life in the last week. It's been absolutely magical, and I'm very grateful and feel incredibly privileged to have such a fabulous horse and the backing and such great support from you guys. So thank you very, 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 very much. And support from you, Jenny, and from all my friends. And yeah, it's so wonderful.
And I managed to get through this podcast without crying about it.
Yeah, that's good. That is good.
I'm
Anyway,
very
you need to
proud of
go and
you.
sort out your physio situation.
So Ben, he is.
We love you, Ben, and sorry that
we
you're
love
not
you,
here, and I
Ben.
hope you feel better.
Yes, and do not forget that you can go on Cavago's page, go in the search bar, write "Shut Up and Ride," and you will find where the tickets to the tour are. For some reason, some people's browsers or something don't like the Cavago site. They are trying to fix that. But if you have a problem, just send me a message on Instagram or go to shutupandridepodcast@gmail.com. And I'll put a link in the description here. But you can go and buy tickets to the tour. Make sure you come. Unicorn has sold quite a lot of tickets. Bishop Burton, there are tons left. But Unicorn, you can still get some. Silly Prune is confirmed. She is coming to both nights of the tour, which is going to be amazing. Becky Moody is confirmed. I have even paid for her accommodation. She is coming to the Bishop Burton leg of the tour. You say Jaeger, I say bomb. She's gonna be unleashed.
We're gonna have to practice that as well.
It is happening in January on the 16th and 17th, 2026. It is a time for you to see Simey actually up close and personal in action. We'll do meet and greets. It's going to be hilarious. Ben's doing a demo. Simon's doing a demo. We're doing a live podcast. We'll do Q&As.
We're going all out.
We're going all out. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. So to go and get tickets for that. And we will be selling merchandise through Supercross Country. Equistreams are going to be our welfare sponsor. So anyone who loves those bands, you'll get to see they are launching a new product, which will be on tour with us as well. And of course, we would be nothing. And I mean this, we would be nothing without Charles Owen. So thank you. And we've got a surprise coming with them very soon as well.
Yeah,
involving
I love that surprise.
Dave /Steve, for the CEO, and Jade. Anyway, Simon Grieve, from the bottom of my heart and from everyone listening to this, um, you are just a superstar. It takes a fuck of a lot of balls to go around Burghley, and to do it in such style. And as always, you do look a little bit tired this time. I'm not going to lie.
I am.
But
I am a bit tired.
proud doesn't even cover it, because I know what a journey it's been back to get back to this level for you. And
It has.
on a personal note, I've seen you through some highs and lows, but there's been a few lows, and just to see you, vintage Simon, doing what you do best and love, and doing and getting the admiration that you deserve for working so hard is just wonderful. And you're a
Oh, thank you,
fabulous
Jenny.
human, and you deserve every bit of love that you're getting. So give Buster a big smooch and a hug from me, because yeah, he's a special horse ridden by a special man. So we love you. I'm going to go
Oh.
now before I cry. But
And
all
I
there's
love
left
you
to say,
too.
it's Simon Grieve. You did it. You shut up and rode round Burghley.